Three, two, one. Welcome everybody to episode 6 of the Squared Circle. With me tonight, Justin.
Hey guys, what's up? Justin Botter at Botter on Twitter.
And the infamous John.
What's going on, fans? It's BAMFFL2585, Bamful 2585 on Twitter.
Good job of spelling it out. We always have that problem.
Well, it's blurry. I know it's always blurry, so you can't read it.
We got that high-tech equipment here over at Ring Kings.
Cutting edge.
All right, so let's talk about the first topic of the week, which happened right after our podcast, literally a couple hours after our podcast last week. Ultimate Warrior died. The biggest news of the week wasn't that he died, but what his speech was on Raw. He pretty much, everybody's saying that he gave his last words knowing he was going to die on Raw. John, give me a little background on what he said in case people didn't catch it, and then like how you feel like. Do you think it was it him doing that? Was it a coincidence? What do you think about the situation?
Well, he talked about how the Ultimate Warrior will live on once your heart stops beating and you've taken your final breath and all that. And I think it was just pure coincidence. It came out today. The medical examiner did his autopsy, said it was a heart disease, that he had no drugs in his system, and it was natural causes. I think it's just it's a horrible coincidence. I'm a big Ultimate Warrior guy. If you follow me on Facebook, you know that. I almost cried when I found out. I felt like I lost a member of my family. But not a great wrestler. He just was in a different world with his promos, but man, that guy was entertaining, and he's great to watch when you're 5-6 years old.
Hogan! So I had. But all right, so Justin, we got John's take on it a little bit. We shouldn't laugh about it. It's really sad, but let me know what you think about what's going on there and his last words on Raw's last TV appearance before his untimely death.
I mean, it's really eerie, and I don't know if he knew anything about it or whatever. It's all speculative, but I mean, it's tragic. I mean, they just inducted him, and he was back in the limelight for a little bit, but who knows? Maybe he knew something was up, and he got his time in the ring again and cut that really really eerie promo. But I mean, like John said, I mean, he was entertaining. I mean, his promos were crazy. His in-ring skills were not the best, but he still got the job done, and he'll be forever remembered in WWE.
Yeah, I'll touch on it real quick. One thing real quick too is they're doing an Ultimate Warrior week on the WWE Network all week long. Every night at 10 o'clock is going to be a new episode. I'm not going to miss one of them for sure, but I'll touch on it real quick. I think it was crazily coincidental that it happened. He came out in the Hall of Fame and said, excuse me, I sweat real bad and this and that, and then the speech, and I just feel like he knew something was up. I don't think he knew it was that quick, but I think he knew something was up. Growing up as a wrestling fan my entire life, I love the Ultimate Warrior. I didn't get into the technicalities of wrestling until recently, honestly, 3-4 years ago. So to me, Ultimate Warrior was awesome. I mean, he was great. The ring entrance, everything about him, I thought he was a great wrestler. Obviously, now I know he was a terrible wrestler. Loner, wouldn't do anything for anybody else. But it sucks to see him pass away. The only good thing I can say out of this is that finally he got his respect from the WWE. He got his Hall of Fame induction. He got to say his part about that stupid DVD, The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, where they just completely defamed his whole name and his whole career and pretty much just shit on his whole life. So I'm glad he got to be at peace before the death, and it's real sad. And rest in peace, Warrior. Sorry to his family. He's got a lovely wife and two young daughters, so kind of feel pretty awful about it. But
you know what's too bad too is that he just signed this ambassador contract with the WWE. I know during his first time with the WWE, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it really seemed like he was turning to stone, and he was going to make amends with a lot of people. And you read some of these backstage interviews that people were talking with him, and he just seemed like a different person. He had his head on straight, and it's just too bad.
Well, the weirdest thing about it is we all just talked about how his promos were just plain awful, and he's actually been a motivational speaker for a few years now, going to colleges, and I haven't caught it. I can't find it online, but he was a motivational speaker, so of course I think he'd realized his bad ways in the past, and he wanted to make amends for it. If nothing else, at least he got the respect he probably deserved from WWE after that DVD backlash, which was, I don't know if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's just completely. I made John watch it. It's completely just dissing him the whole entire. There's not a good thing said about him until the very end when Chris Jericho said that he was his hero. That's the best thing said about him the whole movie. So
Leave it to Jericho.
all right, let's get off the sad subject here and go to one that I'm pretty excited about. Cut to Raw tonight, and the first thing we hear about was this Intercontinental #1 contender. Pretty much it's like a King of the Ring setup. It's a tournament. And John, give a little heads up on winners tonight, maybe, and what you think. Give me a prediction for what you think is going to happen, and how good this is for the mid card now.
I think it's great for the mid card. It's showing a little bit of importance for the Intercontinental title. Like Botter said last week, the U.S. title still the participation award. Go Dean Ambrose, but you're not getting a lot out of these matches right now. There was a couple of good matches. The Ziggler versus Wade Barrett match was fantastic. Based off who won, it's pretty obvious who it's going to be. I think it's going to be Cesaro and Wade Barrett. Cesaro winning because he's got Paul Heyman on his corner, and Paul Heyman's on fire right now. You know that, Cody.
Yeah, we'll get to that next. That's our next topic.
So I really do. I think it'll be Cesaro. I think Cesaro takes it eventually. Maybe at Extreme Rules if that's what they're setting up. I think he takes the title. I think he has a good run with it.
Okay, and Barter, what do you think about the #1 contender battle or King of the Ring style match tournament going on?
Yeah, I think it's good that they actually bring a different element into who's going to be #1 contender, because a lot of times with any title, there's like, oh, this guy's the #1 contender, But now you have a tournament that is set up to fight for it, and plus you've got two returning superstars with RVD and Wade Barrett that kind of need a push. RVD got a pretty good crowd response tonight and put on a pretty good match besides that completely missed kick that he did. But
looks like John tried to kick somebody.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then, but yeah, I mean, you've got some different elements that can go into it, but I still think that Cesaro with his push and Paul Heyman behind him, I mean, there's not going to be, unless Jack Swagger gets involved, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Cesaro.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is, well, it was before the match started, before everything started, it was Cesaro and Ziggler. Because I'm a Ziggler guy at heart. He's my hero HBK a lot. So, but he obviously lost to Wade Barrett. So it's definitely going to be. I wish it was RVD in the bottom half of the bracket, but it's not. It's going to be Cesaro and Barrett, and Cesaro wins. But I do want to touch on the fact that I really like what they're doing with this. It's boring. All every Raw, every SmackDown for the first 2.5 hours. It's boring as hell. I mean, there's just matches that aren't set up anymore. It's just people, Ryback coming out and fighting this guy for no reason at all, and Goldust, Cody Rhodes. We had a great match tonight against him, but like, it's just terrible. Like, there's no backstory to it. So this is a good backstory, and I love that they're bringing the Intercontinental title back up to the level of back when Stone Cold and The Rock went for it, or HBK and Razor Ramon back when when the Intercontinental title meant something. I do want to touch on though. I think that if they're going to do this, they either have to do it with the U.S. title also, or get rid of the U.S. title. They can't do this with the Intercontinental title and just keep Dean Ambrose with this participation award, just sticking around, doing nothing with it. I think they have to do something with the U.S. title now, or just get rid of it and maybe bring back, like you said earlier, the European title, or bring back the Cruiserweight title from WCW. So you got to have something else to get fresh in there. You can't just have Dean Ambrose, who's involved in main event stuff right now, with the Shield, so we can't individually wrestle. I mean, I see why they're not doing it, but you can't do that forever. Bart, what do you think about this U.S. title? Is it going to stick around? Retire? What do you want? What do you want to see done with it?
It's a tough question because Dean Ambrose has had it now for what seems like an eternity. I mean, when WWE 2K14 came out, like, he had the belt, so it's been that long because that's been out for a while now. I can't really tell you how long he's had it, but as much as I hate to say it because I'm a Shield guy, but they need to get it out of his hands. have Kofi go for it. Get some of the other guys that aren't involved with the IC belt, to go for it.
Even
And
like I was thinking after watching tonight that Alexander Rusov. I mean, he's coming up.
yeah,
Let him have a little title run with the U.S. title, because obviously now it's the Intercontinental title is above the U.S. title, which I didn't think it used to be. I always thought it was the Intercontinental and then U.S. But obviously now the Intercontinental's stopping it. But
yeah, and that's actually really ironic too. I mean, how great would it be for Rusev to have the United States belt? He said he's here to conquer us, and we'll bow down to him. So, but yeah, I mean, get it out of Ambrose's hands. I mean, he uses it probably as a dinner plate anyway. So, yeah, just and bring back the European Championship. D'Lo Brown was a great European champion. I mean, bring it back. So, yeah, get it. Make up like a similar tournament for it, or something completely different. Just get it out of him.
all right, John, what do you think should happen, or what do you want to see happen with the U.S. title in the future in WWE?
Well, just going back real quick. When I kick people, it's in Rome, so win in Rome. Does that apply here? Yeah, you nailed it. I think they should just retire the belt.
Really? Just get
yeah.
rid of it, and then you'll have three belts, three main belts. Yeah, three belts. It'll be the tag team, your world title, and then your Intercontinental. That's it.
Yeah, well, it'll give more relevance to the Intercontinental title. It'll give
but what do you do with all the other superstars? I mean, it's not a small locker room anymore.
Well, what are you going to do with all the up and comers that want to be world champion? They already did it with the heavyweight championship. Why can't they do it with the mid card?
Because they already did it with the heavyweight championship.
Well, then do it with the mid card too. All I'm saying is that it made sense when they had the brand division to have the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE, the Intercontinental, and the U.S. titles, and split it up. Now that it's all one, there's no reason to have two mid card belts. There's no reason to have two World Heavyweight Championship belts. There was no reason to have two tag team title belts, and then they unified that. They've unified everything but the mid card belt. If you think about it.
That's true. So, women's divas and okay.
Get rid of the U.S. title and bring back the Internet Championship.
That's what I'm saying all day.
Zack Ryder, baby, last resort. All right, we'll get on the next topic real quick. Just want to throw in that Paul Heyman talk again. He is having the week of a lifetime right now as a manager. As you all know, he broke the streak. He was the advocate for the guy who broke the streak, and then he's Cesaro and all this. Came out tonight and cut another great promo. Don't really want to hit too much on this besides Potter made a good point. Cesaro doesn't have any music tonight. Tell me your point you told me earlier about Cesaro with no music, what you think's going on with that.
Well, I mean, they're going to have Paul introduce him, and when he wins, be basically, when you win, your music hits. So thinking that he's definitely not going to have the Real Americans theme anymore. That's retired for him. So I really hope that they don't take the King of Swing thing too seriously and he comes out the swing music, but I'm pretty sure within a few weeks he'll have a new entrance music.
I want you to hit on the fact real quick, though. You said that no music means he's a heel.
That was me that said that.
Oh, whatever one of you guys it was. Okay, well then, Braden, John then. John, why don't you tell us what you think about that?
Well, I think what it is, it's everybody celebrates and everybody hears music, and you have Paul Heyman, the advocate for the guy that just ended the streak, which makes him the #1 mouthpiece heel in the WWE or all of sports entertainment.
I say in the whole profession, if you ask me.
But really, it's only WWE because who cares about everything else?
I mean, there's TNA. Let's go now.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That's whew. Anyway, no, but you get massive heat if you don't have music, and you get massive heat if you have the #1 heel mouthpiece. So it sucks because Cesaro could be a great face, but it made me hate him that he didn't have music. I don't know. It's weird. It's like watching wrestling with no commentary. It's just not something that you like.
So you're scared. So what you say no music equals heel, and you're scared that they're not going to make him a face, and he's going to be a heel.
Yeah, well, I think right now the best thing for Cesaro is to be a face. He's over wildly with the crowds, except for Alabama, who, no offense if you're from Alabama, but they don't know wrestling. Otter, you know that.
Otter, you want to pitch in on that real quick?
They were a terrible crowd tonight. Don't go into the South with WWE. The good old boys don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Except for JR.
Yeah. Barbecue.
All right, so we'll get on the next subject. Next came out, I mean, there was a few matches in between of the Intercontinental Contender tournament. not really much to talk about. The next big thing we'll talk about is John Cena and his terrible promo. I don't know what it was. I guess they were trying to make him laughable or Botter. I don't even want to just. I hate Cena. Go ahead, Botter.
They were trying to like Photoshop pictures of the Wyatt family into like what their mama looks like and everything. It was 5 minutes of I don't know, retardation, I guess. It was terrible. They tried to make Cena funny again, and it did not work at all. And then he tried to get all serious, and the whole promo was blown. Even Bray Wyatt he wasn't on his game with his promo, but I mean the crowd that he was in too, like when he was singing "The Whole World in His Hands," they didn't get behind him. It was botched. It was bad.
All right, John, I'll ask you real quick. Do you think after this whole funny business that happened tonight with John Cena and trying to be funny, is that them just trying to keep away from this psycho Cena that Bray Wyatt's trying to bring out, and maybe it happens at Extreme Rules, which, by the way, it came down to say that it's going to be a cage match, John Cena, Bray Wyatt, at Extreme Rules, so no interference. So do you think that is just kind of the WWE writing away from that psycho Cena so that it comes out with Extreme Rules and you don't expect it as much? Or is it they just really botched it, like Botter said?
I think they just botched it. I think that maybe with the Ultimate Warrior thing, they just kind of overlooked this 1 week with Cena and Bray Wyatt because it's been gold except for the match. It's been gold promo-wise since, early last month, and then they just throw this shit sandwich in front of us. It was awful. It's awful.
That's 2 shits now, guys. Come on.
That's 3 now.
You had 2 of them, Cody. You
All
can't
right.
censor me. Anyway, but no, it's just God, man. They just reverted right back to predictable PG era nonsense with that, and you have a very serious dark character in Bray Wyatt. You don't do that. You don't joke around in Photoshop. I mean, even if it's John Cena, it was awful. I wanted to fall asleep. I'm emotionally exhausted from this Raw.
Yeah, it was pretty bad Raw. I'll weigh in real quick. I think it was the WWE writing staff trying to get everybody away because Cena almost hit that psycho Cena point that's calling out at WrestleMania. He almost got there. We all saw it, and he calmed himself down. He still kept the control, won the match. I think they're trying to get us away from forget that he almost came that close. So that way at Extreme Rules, he gets psycho Cena, loses his mind, and then ends up messing up because he's not focused, not John Cena, and then Bray Wyatt wins the match. My take on it, I mean, who knows? It's WWE. John's probably right with his PG era stuff, so I don't know.
Another thing you got to think about too, the Wyatt family was number 6 on our power rankings, and I think that horrible promo might have dropped him down a little.
By the way, go to sports-kings.com/ringkings and check out the power rankings every week. Us 3 will be doing them, so just check them out. Anyways, we'll stop self-promoting for a second, and we'll go to the next topic.
Ring King.
Subliminal messaging. So the next topic, real quick, is I don't really want to talk about this too much because it's stupid, and then we all know it's going to happen, but we got to kind of say it. It was a big part of Raw. Stephanie McMahon came to Kane and called him pretty much soft, and that he doesn't scare kids anymore. He used to walk out when kids would pee themselves, and parents would run hiding, and dogs would tuck their tails, and all this crap. So Kane gets all mad and shakes, and undoes this awesome display box and pulls his mask out and says, Daniel Bryan will pay. Obviously, it means the old Kane's coming back. Bonnie, your take on old Kane? Obviously, I'm thinking it's going to be Kane versus Daniel Bryan after that promo here pretty soon. We can't verify that yet, but it's kind of looking that way. Your take on old Kane coming back?
Who cares? I mean, too little, too late. I mean, his character has already been kind of washed out with corporate Kane. You can't just put on a mask and become the monster again because
Is he gonna get a title shot though? I mean, after
Nah.
that, Daniel Bryan, he called out Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see a title shot, but who knows now? I mean, but it's interesting that he's putting the mask back on.
As we'll talk about here shortly, we know that Randy Orton and Batista are out of the picture now for it.
Yeah,
So I mean, maybe.
maybe it's a possibility, or in a strange coincidence, they become friends and become the tag team called Hell Yes.
Wait, can I throw this curveball out there? What about if CM Punk comes back and challenges for the title?
Oh God!
Yay, John! I've turned you.
I'm gonna go commit suicide. I'll be right back.
Go jump off a building.
First, let me take a selfie.
All right.
That's been done.
All right, John. Do you want to weigh in a little bit on Kane here, or do you pretty much not care?
Yeah, well, I think, yeah. Who cares?
Come on, let's go.
That's that.
Kane is a solid worker in the ring, so he'll put on a good match. I agree that I think he'll challenge for the title at Extreme Rules. I think he'll challenge for the title at Extreme Rules because all the other main event picture players are out of it now. They're all doing this other thing, and there's really nobody else to challenge for the title. So yeah, I could see Kane and Daniel Bryan matching up at Extreme Rules. I don't think it's a main event though. I think the other thing here that we're going to talk about is the main event.
Yeah, I'll weigh in real quick. We'll get to that other thing real quick. It's definitely got to be Kane and Daniel Bryan. There's nobody else there, and it's Extreme Rules. It's not a huge pay-per-view. The only reason why I'm going to watch it is because we're the WWE Network, and it's pretty much $10 a month for us to watch it. So I'll watch it for that reason only, and for this podcast because I care about what you guys think about our podcast. But yeah, Kane puts the mask on. He gets back to being bad Kane. He doesn't win. I bet you it's a decent match at least. Excuse me. Too many nanny daddies. No, a good match. I like it, honestly. I think Botter's kind of right here where he said that you can't go from being the demonic Kane to corporate Kane back to demonic Kane. Kane was such... I never even liked it when they took Kane's mask off because that was such a part of him with the whole how ugly Kane was, and he was so disfigured and burned, and and the way they did that to show he was disfigured and burned when he took his mask off was they shaved half his head, and that made him really ugly. So I never liked that.
He put a towel on too.
Oh, and a towel, yeah. Oof. But I never really liked how they did that. I really thought that in order to keep Kane like the scary, because when Kane first came out, I don't know about you guys, I was scared. He was a scary guy. He was Undertaker's brother that got burned, and he wore a mask because his face was so scarred, and you never saw him without the mask. And then like Botter said, it's come tenfold. You can't go back, I don't think, and make it successful. I think this is a filler match. I really think that it's going to be a SummerSlam is going to be Daniel Bryan's big main event for the title. I think I know that's far down the road here, but I think Extreme Rules is just show Daniel Bryan's dominance for a few months for the title, and why not throw him against Kane, who he's had a past with, because the main eventers that we're talking about here started something serious tonight. John, tell us what happened, and give me your opinion on what happened with. We're going to call it. Well, first we'll call it Evolution 2.0. Give me your take on it.
It's more like Evolution 2.0. No, it's just
that was no.
Yeah,
no,
Tea Party. I've been thinking about it. No.
Yeah.
I had several options. I went with that one.
That deserves a golly.
Imagine how bad the other two were if I landed on that. No, it's Shield versus Evolution. That's going to be the main event. It's just you look at those guys, and I think Triple H is the oldest one. God, they all look so old except for Triple H. I'm sorry. It's just who cares about Batista? It'd be more entertaining to bring back Flair. And it's just I don't it's just not why? Break up the Shield, let them feud. That's entertaining. I just don't see I think this Evolution thing lasts maybe a month, maybe just to do this match because they have nothing else going on. They really bet all their chips on CM Punk and he's just not here. So I don't know.
That's 2 CM Punk references from John tonight. Holy cow!
I'm tired. I'm really tired.
All right, so just a quick backstory of what happened, in case you missed it. The Shield had to fight every single heel in the locker room tonight. There was 11 guys came out. All 11 of them were heels. Got their you-know-what's kicked. We already used our swearing up for this session, so I can't use it anymore. Got their butts kicked, and then Evolution music played. If you guys don't remember Evolution, back in the early 2000s till mid-2000s, it was Ric Flair, Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H had a faction. One of the top 5 factions ever. Check out John Judge article on it on Ring Kings. It's a pretty good one.
Right to censor.
Besides Right to Censor on that list. But anyways, so tonight Evolution music plays. Boom. Out comes Batista, Randy, and Triple H, and they just destroy the Shield. RKO's, Batista bombs, pedigrees, Batista KOs, RK bomb, whatever you want to call them, that new move they're doing. Destruction. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be what makes Extreme Rules. I really was thinking that this was going to be the worst pay-per-view of the year. And it still might be. But now I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be a great match. The Shield's in a hot streak. They're just so good right now. And they can work with anybody. Old or young, Triple H, Eagle or not, they can do it. It's going to be a great match. Hopefully, Evolution will last a month, like John says, but I have a feeling it's going to be a few months because what else you could do with Batista right now? Yeah, he's got to do something. He signed a contract for I think it was 6 months, 7 months, something like that. I'm not positive off the top of my head.
Oh, it's 2 years.
It was a 2-year contract?
2-year contract.
Whoa, that changes stuff. Wow, we're going to deal with that for 2 years, huh? Anyways, so I think it's going to be a great match. I want to leave this one. I'm going to throw this one to Justin. We left it to Justin for last because we all know he is the Shield guy. And even though they got destroyed tonight, I think he's excited. So, Justin, give me your opinion on this.
Well, even against the 11 people that the Shield faced, they still beat him up pretty good. And Roman Reigns speared Ryback, who sold it for a good 14 years because when Evolution came out, he was still laying on the ground. And no one cared. He could have been severely hurt. Did
you say Ryback or Goldberg? I thought I heard you say Goldberg.
Ryberg.
Ryberg. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue on.
But yeah, the Shield they got pretty beat up, but it was.
Don't cry. Hold the tears in, buddy.
No, it's setting something up that possibly could. Well, it will save the pay-per-view for Extreme Rules, but yeah. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch it play out until it happens. I'm pretty sure that they're going to get revenge on them soon because that's how they roll. But as for who wins it, I don't know. But just you have Shield on your television, you should be happy.
Oh, we are always happy with the Shield, and believe in the Shield. Okay, we had a thing there.
Good job, John. You messed it up.
No, I'm
Potter,
excited.
you didn't even aim at the camera. You went over. You're like,
all right, girls. All right. I think it's a good idea. Like I said, like we've all pointed out, they really have nothing for Extreme Rules, and it's hard to. And I don't blame on the writers. With CM Punk leaving, it really hurt the writers. They had storyline. They write 7-8 months in advance. They start a storyline now, and it lasts for that long sometimes. Especially with a guy like CM Punk, who is going to be over that entire 7 or 8 months. He's not going to change. Nothing's going to change about it unless he walks out the door, which you never expect. So it's definitely going to save the pay-per-view. It might be the only one I watch. Maybe the women's the Divas title match, whoever it ends up being, I'll probably watch that one too. Because I don't know about you guys, but the Divas, that's turned into an actual something to watch. And I want to end actually this show on talk about the Divas, which nobody in this right mind would ever do. Paige had a title fight tonight against Alicia Fox. Is that her name, Alicia Fox?
Yeah.
Okay. Paige wins again. Obviously, we know she was going to retain. John, give me your thought real quick on Paige and her future here. Is she going to be a nice long title? She doesn't really have a great mouthpiece, but she's got a good back piece. So is she gonna have a long run here as a Divas champion or what?
I think so. If you've been able to watch her on NXT, she's an amazing wrestler. Her and Emma put together a couple of matches that would main event any Raw, in my opinion. I think it's Trish Stratus versus Lita 2.0. I think the young up and coming divas are something that's going to be fun to watch. They actually know how to wrestle,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Holy
and
cow.
they know how to tell a story in the ring. It's not just a bunch of girls playing tennis in there with the moans and the oohs and the
Sorry.
Paige
Tennis.
doesn't even. Paige does. She's the anti-diva. She's just about winning in the ring and fighting. I think her and AJ are gonna put on a match, maybe at Extreme Rules, maybe at SummerSlam. But her, Emma, AJ, a bunch of these girls that are coming
Don't forget about Naomi. You got Naomi. You got Oksana. You have all. I mean, it's right now. I've never seen a better women's division in any professional wrestling ever. It's the greatest by far.
Oh yeah, that's what I got to say about that. It's about time the girls got some love too.
Yeah, Botter, weigh in on your boy Dean Ambrose's new girlfriend Paige.
I'm very, very jealous.
That's it. You're just jealous. That's all you got.
Yeah.
All right. So Botter / I want to be Dean Ambrose is jealous. All right, guys. This has been episode 6 of the Squared Circle. You can find us on Twitter at RingKingsSK. You can find us on Facebook, SK RingKings. Botter, give them your handle.
My name is Justin Botter, and I am at Botter on Twitter, and I'm jealous.
John, spell your Twitter out for him because you can't make it one that's simple enough for people to know.
I made that 17 years ago. All right, leave me alone. I'm shocked we're ending this podcast on the Divas. That's how good they are. I'm John Judd, BAMFFL 2585, Bamful 2585 on Twitter.com.
And I'm WLater30. This has been episode 6 of the Squared Circle. Make sure you check out all our articles. Like us on Facebook. Tweet us on Twitter. Any questions you got, we're always here to please the fans. Have a good one.